Hello, Stacey. Hello, Adam. So happy
Hello.
to see you both.
Great to be here.
So, before we start talking about the new album, I was looking at the discography, at the Savage Master discography. And I noticed that you must have celebrated your 10th anniversary as a band, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And then at my age now, time passes fast, quickly. So you never notice, because I still, in my mind, I still say, Savage Master, that's a young band.
Yeah.
Band that didn't say people, right? Okay. And again, related to the discography, you guys have been consistent with basically releasing one album every 3 years. How do you manage that?
Well, I think at first we were just trying to get our name out, So you're trying to crank them out, man. They creativity's flowing, and you just put them out there. The last couple seem to take a little bit longer to make it a little bit more work to make them happen. But that's a good thing. But
is this because you guys have become more picky for the music you put out, or is it more?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Definitely a lot more self going on there.
Sorry, I lost you a little bit, Adam.
Definitely a lot more self happening in the writing, as far as what we present to each other and what actually goes into the pile. And also a good thing about having this many records out is, like, I don't feel like we have to have a record out tomorrow or anything. Like it's like we want to keep it going, but I don't feel the pressure that I did the first few
to get them out
to keep it going. Yeah.
So there was pressure, right? And now there is
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's pressure now, but it's not the same. I don't know.
It's a different kind of pressure.
Different kind of pressure. The pressure is more that the record has to be really good.
Yeah, it's more on quality and less on quantity now.
There you go. There you go. So when did you guys have the album ready? Because I know sometimes the record labels delay to release the new albums.
We recorded about a year ago and had it finished in April.
Yeah, probably April, May, something like that. It was finally done.
Isn't it fun that for you guys this album is kind of old?
Yeah, to us it's old.
Yeah.
Something else. But, yeah, it's great though. But when you get it in your hand, it's brand new again.
Yeah.
You finally see it.
For whatever the reason, your audio, when you speak, Adam, there is a wave in the volume. I don't know what. Maybe Stacey's sabotaging you, man.
No, she's naturally.
He needs all the spotlight. Okay. So, how long will you say it took you guys to get the album ready?
With everything, like, it was probably 6 months of writing.
Okay.
We did 3 demos of the album before we did it, and then the recording was just the tracking, that was a week, and then mixing and mastering was about a month. A good solid year was probably spent working on the record.
Who did it?
Arthur Risk did it. Arthur Risk.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and man, the best guy. The absolute best. Arthur is
the best. So why did you pick the name Dark and Dangerous for the album?
Really, we had other names, which I don't remember all the other names now, but there are other names that we might go with. And one day, Dark and Dangerous just literally came to me. I don't know what I was thinking or doing at the time, but I was like, "Oh, Dark and Dangerous." It
just seemed to fit. Yeah.
I presented it to everybody, and everybody loved it. Everybody thought it was perfect.
That was the one. We just knew it was the one.
Yeah, it was simple and direct, and
it described the album in a cohesive way.
At that point, did you have the lyrics ready?
Yes. Yeah.
Everything.
Actually, we had. Had we recorded all the songs?
Yeah, everything but the title.
Yeah, we had everything but the title. So it fit because it worked with what we already had too.
So did you have also the concept for the photo that you used in the cover artwork? In the cover?
Actually, we had a couple of photo concepts for the album cover. We shot 3 different times, 3 different sets of photos. and the last ones were the ones we ended up using
Okay.
for that setup, which were a little bit different. The other one involved a big house in the background, but none of those quite worked as well as this one did. The color scheme on this one looked really nice and purpley, and so it worked. That's
So
why we took it.
I'm guessing the house that you mentioned is the one that you did the filming for Devil Rock.
Yeah, it was in that area, actually, real close to that. That place was, even though it looks like it's out in a house, because we have a setup shot of an old house. That was shot in an old speakeasy bar building in a small town in Indiana that was empty. And if you look closely, you can see out the windows. You might see a car out there, something like
Yeah.
that. If you look,
We're actually really high up in that.
yeah, we're actually very high up, and you can see the street out some of the windows. It's kind of strange.
I thought that was
Movie
part of the
magic,
concept
you know?
of the story.
Yeah.
So the purple color is dominant in the photo on the cover. Any specific reason for that?
For the color?
Yeah.
Well, we switched to color outfits and like hoods. The whole outfits were switched to color on the last album cycle, and we kind of wanted a purple layout then, but the label kind of wanted it to be red, so it was red. That was pretty much it. But this time it was purple all the way from the start. We were like, it has to be purple. We wanted the purple roses and stuff, like funeral kind of vibe and stuff.
So again, now I will stick to the photo because you start the album with an instrumental track, right? And I always like to ask this kind of cheesy question: how do you pick a title for an instrumental?
To be 100% honest, our guitar player Nicholas Burks, he wrote that piece. A great piece. We really liked it. We were going to use it for maybe an intro to another song originally when it was first conceived, but then it ended up being the intro to the album. But to be honest, with the three red candles thing, I was walking through our house, looked over at a bookshelf. There's three red candles on it. And I thought, three red candles, and that was way it turned into that. Yeah.
And then you had the three candles in the cover in the photo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was the other way around.
Well, no, actually, the candles in the photo aren't red. So it's It's like two or four whites and one black. One purple. It's kind of strange. Check it out again.
Okay, because in the cover I see three, unless you know.
Yeah, it's three. It's three.
Okay.
Oh, on the cover with the yeah, that's just a happy coincidence.
Okay, makes sense. And for a moment, you made me look like a fool, right?
No,
three, right? 1, 2, 3.
On the inside of the album, on the very inside of the album, there's a whole candle motif thing going on. That's what I was thinking we were speaking of.
We always have lots of candles.
Yeah.
Who designed this concept? From the cover to the inside.
I did some of the photos. Our friend Eva did some of the photos, but Anik
Giroux, she does the design layout for the album for Shadow Kingdom.
Yeah, she's done everything we've done for them.
Yeah.
I always mess up with her last name, so thank you for that.
Yeah,
it was a sneaky way to get out of it.
Shout out to
yeah, she's awesome.
So Adam, you said you did some of the design and you also do the direction of the music videos, right?
Yeah.
So jack of all trades?
I guess so. I mean, it just kind of ended up that way.
Oh, okay.
It really did.
Yeah.
I mean, I love movies and I love video and stuff, so it was natural progression. But yeah, it's kind of how it's just ended up. We've done so many photo shoots and video shooting things that eventually you think, I could do a better job than some of these people sometimes. And then,
cheaper.
because I'm free, you know. So.
Cheaper, you shouldn't say that, Stacey. Come on, it's not cheap. Quality. So since we mentioned the music video for Devil Rock, at the end you have a dedication.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
James awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the album, this song starts with it's her voice, right?
Yeah.
So is this for a Coven song? Because I fail to identify that.
Oh no, it's definitely
Adam wrote the lyrics.
it's a tribute to her and that kind of earlier occult type rock. I mean, to us, Jinx is a hero. Is kind of responsible for kind of the kind of music we play. Heavy metal plus the occult element. Without the original Coven, who knows what that would be? The images on that album, the way it looks, the way it sounds, even the great songs, all that stuff. Her voice was a big influence on both me and Stacey at different points in our life. So there came an opportunity to have her appear on the album, and we took it, and that's that. Pretty much it.
Our guitarist Nick had filled in on guitar for Coven, so then now he knew her, so we were able to ask her to be a part of it.
And the song itself kind of is like a tribute to early occult rock and like even early Kiss, things like that would have been a part of record burnings or your parents getting really mad, those kind of
Satanic Panic. Yeah.
The point of the song is Devil Rock Will Steal Your Soul. That's obviously tongue in cheek and is poking fun at anyone who would take that seriously, and that's kind of the point.
Yeah. Sometimes we play it live and I say, "Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to worship the devil?" And some people are like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh, I don't know."
Like, "Oh, I don't know." Yeah.
Somebody comes out in a devil costume, and then they're all.
Then everybody loves that. They all love that,
even if they weren't so sure before.
It's interesting that you mentioned the Satanic Panic because in Greece we had something similar. However, these were more pure days, right? Even though we had this ridiculous fight against music, and in some parts of the US we still have that. It was it had its own magic. And nowadays, we don't see that kind of magic with a K at the end.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I think something's been lost across everything, though. There's too much of everything all the time.
Yeah, and I'm saying
the focus.
because for Sabbath Master, I really appreciate you guys putting a show in that manner to have this occult background. The hoods, Stacey's outfit, the dagger, the sometimes you bring fake blood, or is it not?
Right.
Yeah.
So, what I'm trying to say, these days we don't see this stuff. The bands come out, just a t-shirt, and they play music. That's all.
Yeah. We always, from the beginning of the band, we wanted some kind of strong image and show to it because we thought the whole point is entertainment. That's what we're doing. Yeah. We want to do something we would enjoy to see and be excited about and talk about what, oh, did you see that? That's
and then there weren't many bands doing it. I mean, there's always a handful of bigger bands that are, Guars and bands like this.
Ghost and Guar and stuff. Yeah.
When we were starting, we didn't see anybody out there doing like the Merciful Fate kind of candles and blood, fake blood and the whole, like that whole bit. And that's really what we wanted to do. So t-shirts and jeans, that was out, from the very beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's easy for you guys. You wear hoods. She has to do hard work.
She's got
well, I get to breathe at least, though.
That's
true. So would you say, Stacey, there is because I assume that you write all the lyrics.
I write some of them. We share writing on lyrics.
Okay. So would you guys say then that there is a concept, or not concept, a theme, let's say, connecting the lyrics?
Yeah.
On the new album?
Mm-hmm.
Or in general?
For the new one.
The new album, yeah. The whole thing's a dark romantic concept, really, of like love and darkness and death and castles and mist and long flowing white dresses and thunderstorms and like dark romance, something lurking in the night, those kind of concepts, heartbreak and love lost.
And just to help
love game
the younger people who may be listening to this, we are talking about Hammer films. That kind
Yeah,
of,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm trying to steer away from, you know, the Twilight stuff from the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know exactly
Yeah.
what we're doing.
That's exactly it.
Absolutely. At what point do you start writing the lyrics? Before or after you have the music?
It kind of depends.
Kind of goes both anyway. Like you might have music for a song that needs lyrics, or you might have some lyric concepts you already have written down that you want to apply to something. You know, sometimes it all comes at once, and sometimes it takes forever to finish one.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle.
Um,
You got to find the last missing piece sometimes.
Sometimes I might write a portion of the lyrics, and she might finish those,
Yeah.
or vice versa.
Yeah.
And like get to a certain point and be like, all right, I'm stuck here. I don't know what to do. And so we'll go from there. The other guys suggest little pieces of things as well too.
Yeah.
Great.
It's
So
very creative group.
I Never Wanna Fall in Love. There is almost an hour vibe there, hard rock maybe. And I really appreciate it. I mean, my mind went to Rat, something like that, to be honest. So how did this song came to be? It's something a little bit different from Savage Master, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It didn't really start off that way. It just kind of turned into that, to be honest with you. We didn't plan to do this song this way. The music could go as a Savage Master song any way you went with it, really. Depends on the lyrics. The lyrics are what make it different for us, I think. And Nikki had our guitar player, he had the idea of the part, and maybe it never fall in love. So from there, I wrote all the lyrics over around that, and to just fit into that concept, and that's really just how we got it. Like it came pretty naturally.
Oh man!
But it started off as just a regular. Our drummer actually wrote that riff, and those riffs, and I'm sure when he turned it in, he didn't have it in mind that it was going to be called "I'll Never Fall in Love Again," like or "Never Want to Fall in Love Again." I'm sure that's not what he was thinking. It turned out to be.
This is what you did with my
riff. Right. But we were happy with the way it turned out. It's definitely like a little more way more in the hard rock band than anything we've done before. But we were happy with the songs, so we included it.
Oh yeah, I mean, to me, it's when bands do something like this, a bold move, let's say, you have to appreciate it because the band is taking a risk, let's say, because we know that sometimes metalheads do not want to, deviate. They want to stick everything in a box, and if you fall outside that box, oh man.
Yeah.
You're screwed.
Yeah.
There's always that.
Yeah. Yeah, we know that's coming.
Somebody will be unhappy with it, I'm sure.
Oh, you're good. However, you follow this song in the track list. You have When the Twilight Meets the Dawn, which is probably the heaviest song in the album. Yeah, did you do that on purpose? Just to counterbalance?
We've always kind of done had this idea of trying to keep the energy going in an album, and sometimes it's like a palate cleanser, and it's like how the feeling in one song is dramatically that feeling, and then that kind of goes away, and then you're into the next song and it's a new kind of energy, and it just kind of keeps the blood flowing. And I mean, I don't know, there's something we think is really kind of exciting about that, keeping tempos or themes and things like that.
Same reason we ended with a ballad. It's just a certain mood.
Yeah,
we can get that really fast one out of the way, and then drop off into the total ballad territory right soon after that.
Are there any guest voices in the album?
Guest voices.
Guest singers, if you prefer.
Only Jinx is featured on the album, but there were 3 songs that we did record that were on the album that were pulled. Just because we recorded a kind of a bulk of material that we had to see what turned out the best of this stuff was what we would pick, and so we picked 10 songs for it. And on one of those tracks, we have Tony Dolan from Venom Inc. and also Amy from Solicitor.
Yeah.
And it's like a mini rock opera piece.
Yeah.
that we'll release sometime later this year. I'm sure.
So is there an EP coming or a single?
I think it's gonna be a single. It'll be like probably just maybe a 2-song 45, something like that.
That's cool, really cool. Really cool.
Should be pretty cool. Because we've got those extra songs, so we'll see what we do with them. But that one's definitely coming out.
It will be interesting to hear Tony singing on that. You said, okay.
He actually narrates.
He actually narrates.
Oh, okay.
He's the narrator.
Yeah.
He talks in a super like great voice the whole time. I don't want to impersonate him. It's hilarious. It's
Very good.
He has that accent, right? That British,
Yes.
British accent.
it's perfectly hammer sounding.
Yeah.
So why I'm asking about guest singers or guest vocals, because, and please Stacey, correct me if I'm wrong, I think in Screams from the Cellar and maybe a little, not a maybe, and on Cold Hearted Death, you have been trying a little bit lower pitch, lower, I'm not sure if I described that correctly. You're not singing as high as for the
Yeah.
So are you trying new things?
Yeah, we're trying new things, just kind of expanding, and it's like we were thinking for this album of just taking the Savage Master universe and kind of expanding upon it, and just and that involves my voice as well,
and some goth influence stuff
too.
a
little more goth influences too, yeah, for sure.
Interesting. Anything else?
But that's all me.
What do you mean? It's on me.
I mean, it's all me singing. It's not, I guess.
Yes, I was trying to play it safe, just in case you had someone else.
Just in case it was not me.
I'm just trying to not sound full, man. Come on. Did you try anything else that I failed to notice? There were some keyboards, some just for the audience, I guess, right?
Yep.
We did some keyboards on Monday night as well. They're very much more subdued. They blend in.
Some songs you might notice them on, but mostly they're pretty buried. But they were there. We started.
Yeah.
And then for this one, I decided to just do keys across all the songs. So every song has it on there, actually. Whether you hear it as much, like in a song like Edge of Evil, it's a little louder. But then in a song like Devil Rock, you don't hear it as much. But it's there. It's always there. So I just like the way the keys fill things out. Like the background is all taken out. I like that. And also, I just love 80s music. And I love synth keyboards and stuff like that. I love that vibe. And the horror vibe of that is also cool. So I think it fits perfectly in the Savage Master world.
Oh, absolutely.
We don't do it live, but on the records there'll be keyboards.
Yeah.
So that was my next question. Are you planning to use pre-recorded parts for those or not?
No, I mean, I guess if a keyboard player came along that could somehow work, we would use that. But I don't think we would use pre-records. Period. Probably at any point. I can't imagine us doing that, honestly.
Well, yeah, it takes away some of
it sounds like such a pain in the butt.
Something will go wrong.
We need to wear in-ears. I mean, we don't do that. So we're like kind of primitive, and
you don't trust technology, basically.
Yeah.
So you have some live dates coming up, and I see Stacey wearing her Hell's Heroes.
Yes. Yep. Hell's Heroes coming up, and then 2 minutes to Tulsa.
Number one.
Yeah, this is the first one. 2 minutes to Tulsa a week later, and then we go. Our next stuff after that's Europe.
It's like May 20th to June maybe 5th, I think, or something like that. That's Europe. Germany, and
Moscow Rock,
Scandinavia,
yeah.
And then we'll be back and we'll do the East Coast of the United States, and then I'm sure some more
with Night,
with our good buddies Night.
Yeah, we're with Sanhedrin in Europe, so very, very excited. They're all good,
fantastic bands.
So, speaking selfishly, thank you for bringing Night to the East Coast, because I don't think they have played in the East Coast.
I don't really know. They might not have.
I don't think they have.
Thank you for bringing them to Chicago. That's greatly appreciated. So, before I let you go, Adam, is Dragon Kiss still active?
Dragon's Kiss is still active. They have a new album in the works. I've heard it. It's very good. I'm not singing on it.
Okay.
I might appear on it still. They haven't turned it in, so I might appear on it. But they're using the guy that they use live for it, and it sounds really great. I think it's fantastic. It continues exactly the same sound that we had before, and the vocals don't sound like me, but sound similar to that. You know, the gargly kind of apocalypse biker voice kind of thing. It's very cool.
And you, Stacey, you did some singing, guest singing for Adagonizer. I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Antagonizer. Yes, yeah. I did. It's really just a group of us just shouting hell, but it was really cool to be included on that. And it's their stuff's really great too. They've got some great singles out, and they're really cool. We met them in Pensacola. No, not Pensacola. Was it Pensacola? No. Orlando.
I feel like it was Florida.
Somewhere in Florida, we met them. I can't remember the city now, but no, it was Florida for sure. And then I also appeared on a song recently as well. So with Amy from Solicitor also, and Maddie from Bloodstar.
That will be a great band for Savage Monster to tour with.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, give me the credit once you do that. Thank you very much for your time. Love the new album.
Thank you.
I'm sad to say that I won't be in the Hell's Heroes this year, but I will be in Chicago and see
Savage
Monster with
see you there. Awesome.
Looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So have safe travels and great shows.
Thank you. Thanks for the interview.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.